What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Stan of XJ Square Photography, bring you back another video today. Today's video, I want to go ahead and sit down and talk to you about the Sony A7R III. Yes, as you've seen in the title, is the Sony A7R III still good in 2024? Now guys, let's just go ahead and put this in perspective. The Sony A7R III is almost about 7 years old. It is coming up on 7 years old. That camera was released in October of 2017 with a nice, beautiful 42-inch sensor that I love because, you know, guys, I just love lots and lots and lots of megapixels. So the sensor is still absolutely amazing, as well as the camera. Now, the real question is it still good in 2024? I sold mine. Now, if you've been on my channel lately, you know that a few weeks ago, I made a video about how I got the brand new Nikon Z8. Maybe check out that video if you want to know the full details. But what I'm saying is, with the A7R III was the fact that I sold it just to kind of recoup some of my money back from buying the Nikon Z8. That's the only reason why I ended up selling my Sony A7R III. But in all honesty, the camera was absolutely still amazing, even in this time, right? You know, in 2024. Again, that camera was really, it was really ahead of its time, if you really want to be honest with it. Again, with the 42 megapixel camera, sensor, with 4K up to 30 frames per second, 1080p to 120. Of course, it was an 8-bit color, but still, that was still usable, guys. I never really actually used my Sony A7R III for videos. Very, very, very little did I ever use that thing. Only when I did like my video portraits behind the scenes. It's the only time I really kind of used that for video purposes. But other than that, I used it mainly just for photography purposes. And you know, it's absolutely beast of a camera, man. As you know, guys, I ended up getting that camera probably about in, I think, December of 2020. So right 3 years after it came out, guys. And I showed, if I got a screenshot, I'll show you a screenshot how much I got it for. I got it for like $1,300, guys. And mind you, that was 3 years after it came out. And I ended up getting an amazing deal, man. I just got lucky on that deal as well. So when I ended up getting the camera, the reason why I did, because I just wanted to jump in the mirrorless game, guys, and that was something that was in my budget at the time. So I went ahead and bought that, and I bought the 85, and the rest is history, how it became a Sony camera. But I absolutely love that Sony. Now I'm just gonna pretend like right here, okay, guys, this is really my Nikon Z7, but we're just going to pretend for a second that this is the Sony A7R III. And pretty much it's almost a similar body, honestly. Like that Sony A7R III was a little bit smaller than the Z7, but other than that, it still had the same exact screen. This is where I want to kind of show you. This is the screen that the Sony A7R III comes with. Just a regular tilting screen, which I kind of liked. But the thing I liked about it the most was absolutely the autofocus. The autofocusing was just game changing, man. I'm talking about, it was absolutely game changing for when I first jumped into mirrorless. I'm talking about Sony autofocus is such on another level, even back in 2017, that it is still good in 2024, guys. Now, as you could probably know, as this video has been going on, I've been throwing up a little B-roll, just me showcasing me using this thing before I sold it from this year. I went to Puerto Rico back in April, and I absolutely used it a ton in Puerto Rico because I was shooting like a lot of natural light, and honestly, that camera was a lot smaller. Of course, with the 85 lens attached to it as well, that was a lot smaller, so it was a little bit quite smaller setup. And then on top of that, I really loved the autofocus, right? Because I loved the autofocus with Sony when I was always doing like action shots, walking shots. I did some with my Z7, but I really prefer doing it with my Sony A7R III because obviously the autofocus was just way superior to the Nikon Z7 at that time. So even still, like every time I did natural light and I was doing walking shots, I was definitely sit down to Z7 and pick up my Sony A7R III and was like, yo, I got to get some action shots. Let's go ahead and do this thing. So, but anyway, again, when I was in Puerto Rico, I absolutely just like, because it was just a smaller form factor, believe it or not, than this. A little bit smaller, a little bit lighter. The autofocus was more reliable. So that's the reason why I kind of started using it a lot in Puerto Rico. Like I probably used it a ton in Puerto Rico. That was my first time. Then when I came back, I used it in a couple more other shoots of that nature. attention. Now you can get this camera still to this day. Sony still got it on their website. I think you can still get it on Sony's website for about $2,300. I'll put up a screenshot for you right about now. So you can still get it for about $2,300, I think, brand new. And then also on Amazon, you can get it for about like 18. I don't know, it's a big range, but it's between 18 to about $2,300 brand new. And I think for used, you can get it for around like $1,200. Now for $1,200, and if you're really trying to get into mirrorless or just shooting a camera for $1,200, I will say absolutely get the Sony A7R III. I promise you guys, you will not be disappointed, even for a start off camera. Like, get you a used A7R III, man, if you really want to start off, because it does pretty much everything you needed to do. It got those high megapixels, guys. I'm trying to tell you, if you shot with 24 like I did in the beginning of my career, and you jump to something that's like over 30 something over there, it's just a huge difference, guys. It's a huge difference. All the detail, all the crispness of the you know, the photos that you get out of a high megapixel camera, I'm trying to tell you, it's going to really be hard to go back to 24. It's just hard to go back to 24 back when you just used to getting a high megapixel sensor and just all those good frames that come with it. But the question really is, it absolutely is still a good camera in 2024. And I will suggest, if anybody, if you ask me, I would definitely tell you, hey, if you're looking for a camera that's around $1,200, that's going to be really, really great. I'm just talking about it's a really good camera. Then I will say, try to get yourself a Sony A7R III. Now, that's my rant. I'm over with my rant. It was a very quick rant, guys. Like I said, I really didn't have much to say about this camera, guys. It's like I said, if I didn't get presented with a great deal with the Nikon Z8, I still would have kept my Sony A7R III. It did what I needed to do. It still produced fantastic photos. It still produced a good video if you needed that for video as well. It's a good all-around mirrorless camera. And again, guys, for that camera almost being 7 years old, man, it still holds its weight to this day. Now, let me go ahead and drop this before I get off here too. Now, it is got that old color signs. It's kind of trash, but that really don't make a difference if you're editing anyway. But it does kind of makes a difference if you're gonna just like shoot JPEG. So I'll definitely say set your white balance and magenta of things of that nature if you're definitely gonna shoot JPEG and deliver JPEGs. But if you're shooting raw, it really don't make a difference. But it is with the old trash color signs, right? So I would just definitely say, other than that, it's a great camera, man. It's still a great camera. It still holds its weight to this day, man. Even being 7 years old, I'm talking about before its time with the USB-C port, the SD card slot 2. You know what I'm saying? That's on the camera as well. I'm talking about, it's just really, it was really a good camera, man. And for it to be 7 years old and still holding up to this date in 2024 and holding its own to the best of the cameras, of Sony cameras now, because you got to realize, guys, this is the R series is on number 5. Like the R series is on number 5, and yeah, the autofocus is a little bit faster, and they got the AI chips and things of that nature, and the megapixels are definitely higher, because I think the 4 and the 5 got 61. But even still, like it still holds its weight, guys. Like it really still holds its weight. If you want to do portraiture, you know, landscapes, things of that nature, I'll say in that realm, macro, things of that realm, besides like, you know, maybe, you can still get away with the sports. I think you get away with the sports as well. You know what I'm saying? You have to probably work your magic around it, but you can still probably get away with it with sports as well. But it's absolutely an amazing camera to still have in 2024. And if you're on a tight budget, I would definitely recommend this camera, of getting this camera for about $1,200. Definitely, like I said, on the used market, you probably get a more user if you're really trying to search around and try to look for it. So that's my rant. Is it still a good camera? Yes. Did I sell mine? Yes. I didn't sell it because it was bad. I just sold it because I got to upgrade in Nikon world. But if you like my work, please consider yourself subscribing to my channel. Go ahead, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely comment down below and tell me what you think about the Sony A7R III, and is it still good in 2024? And to the next video, peace.